The Rock is beloved by so much of the NASCAR industry and fan base, making it a popular ad for this season's BRB Buttkicker Cup Series. What was unexpected, however, was the chase implications this race would have, as today we may see Mason Houseman clinch the BRB Series title a whole race early, stifling the competition along the way. Welcome to Pitstop TV and the virtual Rockingham, North Carolina. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV with Zach Burtis alongside, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of the BRB Buttkicker Cup Series. Tonight's coverage from Rockingham is brought to you by the Buttkicker, by Ascendance Trucking, Ideal Lease, Sundance Pizza, and by Whiplash Sim Cams. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be a fun one, Zach. I'm really looking forward to this evening's race. Only 160 laps. It's a bit of a short one, but this racetrack always brings out the best and sometimes even the worst. And in all that racing has to offer, it is just such a cool place to race. It's a driver's racetrack, a true driver's racetrack. It puts the driver against the asphalt, and it's just so much fun to drive.
That it is, and you know, I'm about to call you out a little bit, Andrew. I've been saying for weeks, Rockingham's a short track. You've been telling me for weeks it's over a mile. It's not a short track, but your own graphic calls it a short track, my guy. Plus the league voted, so it is a short track. So I'm just gonna keep rolling with it the entirety of the night.
No, it does not call it a short track.
Boasting a short track and a road course.
Yes, because there's a short track off the backstretch, Little Rock.
It's a short track, man. Come on. You gotta give me this win. Come on.
It's an intermediate.
Oh, hey. Well, in any case, it's just like any other oval racetrack on the NASCAR calendar. 4 turns, a front straightaway, a D-shaped oval. It's got a bit of a longer pit road than most do, but hey, it's also got a road course too, and you didn't expect that on a mile racetrack. It's, I think, the only other racetrack on the NASCAR calendar that has a road course that is a mile or under would be New Hampshire, if I'm not mistaken. But
Phoenix used to.
They did, but not anymore, not since the reconfig. But Rockingham, this track is awesome. They're bringing it back this year. There's been so much fan uproar about it. People love this racetrack, and I can always see why, because every time we come here, it's a freaking blast.
We had a really good Sarah Super Series race here not too long ago that was super late models against this 1 mile racetrack, and let me tell you, in those cars, this is definitely an intermediate. I will take no argument on that one. In those cars, this is a big racetrack. In these NASCAR Cup Series cars, though, this is a little bit tight, I will say. This is a little bit on the shorter side, and it's that 0.018 away from being considered a short track in my book. I'm just saying, it's that little bit over a mile. It's an intermediate. I'm sorry, the technicality is going to be there. But let's talk about points. I mentioned Mason Houseman can technically clinch the championship tonight because he can. He's already got a full race on Jared Hughes. So long as he keeps the 98 behind him, the 24 behind him, and the 8 behind him, he's going to clinch this championship tonight. We are going to crown the champion tonight, I think. Now, a lot can happen. Mason Houseman, he's not even leading practice. Brendan Maddox just led practice as it comes to a close. So there could be some different things happening. But I've got a really good feeling. I think Mason Houseman's got a really good feeling. All he's got to do is tread water, Zach, and he's in a really good spot.
You know, we discussed this, actually. I made a guest appearance on the Holler podcast last week, and we brought this up in conversation. Per really Adam Buzzio and the rest of the guys in charge of the league, everyone from Richard Wolsifer on up mathematically still has championship eligibility. Realistically speaking, though, you're looking at the top 4 to clinch this championship up. Mason Houseman, obviously, with a 67-point lead. The maximum amount of points that you could walk out of a race with is, I believe, 62, as they referenced on the Holler podcast last week. So if Mason didn't even start tonight and Jared, say, walked out of here with maximum points, he'd only be 5 points out. Sutherland would only be about 8 points out, and Brendan Maddox would only be about 8 points out. But that's only if Houseman didn't start tonight. And from the looks of it, he's going to, as we've got qualifying underway.
Yeah, it's looking good for Mason Houseman. It's easy to say. 6 wins, 67-point gap. It's looking good for Cars 78. You see the graphic at the top of the screen. Brendan Maddox going fastest so far in qualifying. Let's get qualifying coverage underway then. Maddox straight up top. Let's turn the volume on. There we go. Maddox straight up top in the 8 car. He has got a liking for this racetrack apparently. Here he comes for lap number 2. And lap 2 across the stripe is going to be even faster. A 24.021 for Brendan Maddox, nearly beating down into the 23-second bracket.
Look at Carl Pooler. He's second on the board. Adam Buzzio's third. Borbell's going fourth, and Jensen fifth. This is a bit of a topsy-turvy qualifying effort right now. A lot of the faster guys that we're used to seeing up front, not particularly on the racetrack at the moment. We see Buzzio running way high in 3 and 4, cuts it down, brings it right back to the start-finish line. It's going to be a 24.11. He's going to go a tick quicker, shoot himself up into the 3rd spot. Fizzles out to a 102. Hey, that's my lucky number. Dakota Camper on the racetrack.
Dakota Camper coming to the line, trying to get the 23. I think he got it. I think he got it. It's going to be, a 24.004 for Dakota Camper, nearly breaking into the 23-second bracket. There it is. Isaiah Sutherland breaks into the 23-second bracket with a 23.995. And Zach, that was only lap 1 from this guy. So far, the best on the timing chart have gotten faster on lap number 2. Here he comes to the stripe.
We'll have to wait and see as Sutherland comes back around. Turn number 4, he's going to bring it right back to the stripe, Andrew.
Yes,
wow,
even faster.
A full 10th quicker.
Unbelievable. He caught the track conditions at just the right time. A 23.863. He's got a full 10th and a half on his teammate Dakota Camper, and even more back to Brendan Maddox, Carl Pooler, and Dustin Stallings, the rest of your top 5 as things stand. There's a look at Stallings. He just completed lap 1. He's going for a faster lap 2. He's only 2/10ths off. That's a large ask on the final lap of qualifying, but can he do it?
Mason Houseman and Richard Wolfenberg just jumped up as well.
Yeah, Houseman into the 23s. Wolfenberg into the 23s. Stallings into the 23s. A 23.97. That's good for 4th. Oh my gosh, these lap times are just rolling in. Ray Walker on the racetrack, going to complete lap number 1 here. And lap 1 seems to be a 24.29. That's 17th quick. Scott Fritz a bit faster at a 24.25. That's good so far for 14th spot. Make that 15th as Sam Dyer goes faster. And Jared Hughes now is on the racetrack. This is a driver we've got to watch tonight. Second in points. He has had a just absolutely, I don't even know the word, an atmosphere. No, that's not even a great word to describe it. Just absolutely incredible. There we go. We'll use the word incredible. Chase so far. And lap 1 is a 24.175. Looking for a bit more here on lap number 2. So far, he's going to start 15th.
You know, there's always spectacular, stupendous, tremendous.
Tremendous.
Amazing.
I like that one, yes.
But he's going to come around turn number 4. Jared Hughes takes it to the line, almost down to the yellow.
Woo,
it's a 23.981. That's going to put him up in the 6th. So the top 4 in the championship right now. You've got Sutherland on pole. You've got Houseman in 2nd. Then you've got Hughes in 6th and Maddox in 9th.
Gray Walker. I just have to shout out Gray Walker in qualifying here. He qualified his first lap down to like 17th, and lap 2 was good for 3rd. Absolutely incredible qualifying session, just blowing me away. That was a lot of fun. That was kind of your old school NASCAR qualifying session feeling almost. That was really cool stuff. But let's get down to business here. We've got a field of 26 ready to go racing this evening at Rockingham Speedway. Oh, a little bit of goosebumps saying that. Rockingham Speedway just so historic, so cool. It's got all of that old school NASCAR feeling to it. Let's take a look through your lucky performance starting grid. Isaiah Sutherland on pole, Mason Houseman from 2nd spot. Starting 3rd, Gray Walker. Starting 4th, Richard Wolfenberg. Starting 5th place, Dustin Stallings. From 6th, it'll be Jared Hughes. 7th and 8th, Dakota Camper, Matthew Catania. And 9th and 10th, you'll find Brendan Maddox and Carl Pooler.
Starting right outside the top 10, you'll find Scott Fritz and Adam Buzzio in the 6th row, 11th and 12th on the grid tonight, 13th and 14th on the starting grid tonight. You will find right behind those two gentlemen, Evan Patinko and Nicholas Brenner. Patinko with a good qualifying effort. He was up inside the top 10 for a little while. 15th and 16th, Sam Dyer and Stephen Borbell, 17th and 18th on the starting grid. You'll find Eric Jensen and Coulter Clark. And rounding out the top 20 on your 2-lap pacing for short tracks on the Irish Sim is Zachary King and Braxton Skinner.
Does this track actually have 2 laps?
It does.
Really? But at Phoenix, you only get 1, and Phoenix is technically shorter.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's strange. Anyways, Cole Lewis rolls off from 21st. Robert Moyer from 22nd. Starting 23rd, Dakota Bly. His teammate Cody Dorsey on his outside in 24th spot. Jason Bottoms, another teammate there in that stable, will start from 25th. Matthew Selby from 26th, and that will do it for all 26 cars here registered to race this evening.
27, Cole Younger with a late entry.
But he missed qualifying.
Well, he'll still start the race from the looks of it.
Maybe. I see him back there, but he's not on my timing and scoring. So, we'll see. Regardless, it looks like car 13 is here in some regard. So, the TFM stable just getting their final driver in. Let's take a look at the Whiplash SimCam's race details here. This is a 160-lap race, 162-mile race, a 260-kilometer race, and it's the back-of-the-pack designs 250. We've got 40 laps in stage 1, 40 laps in stage 2, 80 laps in stage 3, so 40, 80, and 160 are your stage breaks. 5 change sets in the pit lane, 80% fuel, fixed setup racing, 3 green-white checkers if needed, and I have a feeling we might use them tonight with no fast fix available, and drivers will be screaming for a fast fix, I'm sure, at some point in this race, because everybody's going to knock down that turn 2 wall. I'm saying it now.
Yeah, and it looks like I was wrong. Lights are out atop the pace car.
Yeah, I was going to say, that would be strange if we had 2 laps here, but only 1 at Phoenix, New Hampshire, but...
I have always had 2 laps here. When I run late models or ARCA, no matter what it is, it's always been 2 laps. So either they changed it or I'm just not correct on anything at the moment.
Well, let's see. As the iRacing.com safety car pulls down to the relative safety of pit lane, we're going to get this party started into the Geico restart zone. We are green flag racing from Rockingham. Couple of cars grabbing the turn 2 wall there. Nothing crazy though, as the duel is on out front. Sutherland and Houseman.
Nothing crazy is an understatement, because this is Rockingham, ladies and gentlemen. High banks and craziness are all this track produces. Looks like Isaiah Sutherland's going to lead lap 1. They're going to get single file racing amongst the top 5, training on that yellow line. Now, there's multiple different ways you can run here at Rockingham. You can diamond the corner in turn 1 and 2. You can run the bottom, or you can run the top. All 3 of those could be very, very fast, very, very effective here at Rockingham Speedway, as we see a little separation amongst the top 5.
Top 5 separating a little bit. Gray Walker had some connection difficulties there on laps 1 and 2. It seems to have stabilized now as Jared Hughes peeks to his outside. Catania down low, goes fastest. 1 car way to the inside. It's Brendan Maddox. He's just going to hang on to the race car. He slips in behind Adam Buzzio.
Saw Buzzio actually tap the wall there coming off of turn number 2. He's going to get clear of Brendan Maddox. And it looks like they're going to bring Renner right up to the front as well. P11 on the scoring charts right now as Stallings turns the first sub-24 lap of the race here on lap number 4. Surprising, our leaders have not gone a little bit faster than that. But the top 3 starting to break away from Gray Walker. So Wolstifer, Houseman, and Sutherland breaking away quite a bit. And Wolstifer needs a good racing. He's just been having so much bad luck.
Oh, that loose race car for Catania almost got out of hand. Just hangs on down low, right back to the yellow line through 1 and 2. He's on the inside of Dustin Stallings. Stallings gets a run here off the corner and is going to beat the 18 down to turn number 3 by quite a bit. So here comes Carl Pooler now from 8th spot. He wants to take a look, and he's going to bring Dakota Camper.
We saw Sutherland go quickest, then Buzzio quickest again after that. So the lap's starting to tick off as the racing surface takes in some rubber. There goes Brendan Maddox. He turns a 23.88. That's the fastest lap we've seen all race, as shown. Fastest lap but Sutherland continues to lead over Houseman, and they are close together. We've already got a lap car up in front. That's Cole Younger in his Days of Thunder throwback. He's going to pull it down, and look at that. You were not kidding about the fast fix, Andrew.
Cole Younger down to the pit lane, and I have a feeling he might get parked. He did not make an attempt at qualifying. We know he didn't make an attempt at qualifying. He made it into the race session late. I would be surprised if he's allowed to continue on this evening. It seems like he hasn't affected anybody other than himself, but you have to make an attempt to qualify in this series. If not, you, I believe, are not supposed to be allowed to race. Now, I don't know how they're going to approach that, but that's been a subject in recent weeks. In the Discord, there goes Jared Hughes. Second place in the points. Massive chase implications. You've got the 8 car trying to miss it. That was Maddox, and that was Stack Up down the backstretch.
No caution. We stay green flag racing. That is not what you want to see if your name is Jared Hughes. That was insane to watch, but it looks like everyone's going to get sorted out. Nobody's going to have any major damage on the cars from what it looks like. We stay green flag racing. That's a big help for if you're Brendan Maddox, because now you're back up inside the top 10, and a lot of your competition that was in front of you is now behind you.
That's going to deserve a replay, I'd say. Let's go back and see what happened to Jared Hughes, who was racing ahead in the top half of the field, the top 10 or so. Was racing with Gray Walker, who runs 4th, and Dustin Stallings, who now runs 6th. Let's see what happens to Jared Hughes here. Into turn 1. On the inside of Gray Walker, the car just stepped out, and then Dustin Stallings runs in his left rear. And Brendan Maddox, that was clutch as, I don't even know. That was clutch.
Can we call that a nomination for Lucky Performance, Lucky Break of the Day?
We absolutely can, Zach, and that's why I'm going back and getting another replay, because that was incredible.
Take a look at on board here on the number 8 of Brendan Maddox. There's the contact up in front, comes right back down onto the bottom, heads up, and cautions out on the speedway. We've
got a few cars involved. We're going to check out Scott Fritz and company. Let's see what just happened while we were in replay. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be from Scott Fritz's perspective. Racing with Eric Jensen. There's Evan Matinko. This is going to be straight into the replay.
Heard Braxton Skinner say something about it. You see the 33 up on the top line. Scott Fritz is all as well. They were barely 3 wide there for a moment. Oh, just a snap of oversteer off the corner. And Patenko all by himself as well. So that's 3 cars by themselves, or 3 cars involved in that one. Patenko by himself.
And there have been rocky relations between the Accelerate Motorsports, Accelerate Racing, I think it is, or Motorsport, I don't know. Between Accelerate and between CFM. This is going to deepen that divide. As that's an Accelerate driver getting loosed out into a CFM driver. There's a lot to keep up with here in the BRB Racing League, and boy, is it fun to do, but that is not what you want to have this early.
Yeah, tempers were a little flaring after Talladega last week, but it seems like maybe it's all simmered down. We'll have to wait and see. But did you see Robert Moyer Jr. cut it very, very close down on that bottom line, avoiding a spinning Evan Patinko and Braxton Skinner to his right side?
We'll take a look.
Parted from there.
We'll take a look right after this. This is on board with Braxton Skinner. You'll see his hands and what happens to the 33 car off of turn number 2. Gassed up on the outside of the corner. So easy to do. Got loose. And down Thunder Alley. Just gets the 48. Spins him right around, baby, right around.
So easy to get loose on the top side here. So easy to get loose anywhere here at, oh my goodness, at Rockingham. And I think I had the wrong car. 3 cars up, Andrew.
So it wasn't Moyer.
He's red. He's got the rookie stripes on the back bumper. I thought I saw a 16. I thought it was Robert Moyer Jr. there for a second. Right here. Here we go. Matthew Selby, excuse me.
Whoa. Matthew Selby with a close moment there. Eric Jensen getting some damage out of all of that. Let's ride on board with Jensen quickly. He was right behind it and just ran smack in the back of the 33. He had absolutely nowhere to go, you're right. Patinko with his self-spin. There you see Selby who got through it. A lot of pit stops here under caution. The field is checking up now pretty hard as the field is coming around to take the green flag. That was a very quick caution for all things considered.
Braxton Skinner thrown to the rear for that one as well. He served the penalty and will take a pass through after the green flag.
Here we go, back to the Geico restart zone. Isaiah Sutherland, Mason Houseman. Green flag back in the air. We are going at it again. We're going to lap 40 here in stage 1. Problems for Richard Wolsifer off the start there. He had a problem shifting gears. That allowed Catania to go by. That allowed Stallings to go by. So Stallings up to 3rd, Catania to 4th. Catania with a run on the outside, looking for that 3rd spot. And we've got ourselves a fight for 3rd.
Houseman didn't exactly get a great start on the top side, but the big thing was on the bottom for Richard Wolsifer. Now he's on the back bumper of Stallings. A little bit of a shot there off of turn number 2. He's taking a look to the inside. It looks like Stallings is going to go down to that yellow line, go underneath Catania, try to take that 3rd spot away. A little snap, a little loose for that 18 car. They're going to get side by side down the front straightaway here. You know, Andrew, particularly starting, I feel this reminds me of Atlanta and how it used to be on the restarts, how the outside line is just so bad. And we're really starting to see how that can play in. Ooh, big move down the back straightaway.
Stallings back to the inside of Wolfsburg. They fight here off the corner. The Rev Sim Shop 56 and the Girl Dad number 0. They get single file through the top 5. Catania is ripping the outside, though. He has got a big run already up to Mason Houseman. Here he comes off of turn number 2. He's going to have a look to the inside for 3. Doesn't quite get there. He's going to keep ripping the top side. This might be a dirt racer's dream if you can rip the top like that.
Top side is one way to go here around Rockingham. Like I said, there's multiple lines. It's a multi-groove racetrack, Andrew, and that's why our fans love this place. They love multi-groove racing. You know, the short tracks, the bottom line's always the way to go. Big, loose. Off of turn number 2 for Matthew Catania.
That's the danger.
Hangs on to it.
That's the danger running the top side through 1 and 2 especially. You've got so much wheel in the car, but when you come off the corner, the banking falls away, you're still turning left, and the car just skates out from underneath you. If you run down lower and kind of dime it off the corner even, you're straighter earlier, you have less of a chance of spinning like that.
You know, and this is one thing that I've always had, I'm not going to say an issue, but a slight grievance with. When it comes to everyone saying sometimes running the top line is better, the idea of running the top line is, one, it can be helpful on tire saving. Sometimes with the Air Force, or the, I'm going to keep saying Air Force, the word right now escapes me. Big time. The side force, oh my goodness, there it is. The side force up against the wall is beneficial for helping the car rotate sometimes. But I feel like when you're up on the top side, especially right up against the wall, you're putting so much more wheel into the car than if you're running the bottom or running the middle line. And there are times I feel like it could really be a detriment.
Yeah, it's really tricky on the top side of the racetrack this tight. You've got to put so much wheel in the car. But here comes Catania looking to the inside of Houseman. This is for 2nd as they battle behind for 4th and 5th. Maddox has run up on those guys. He goes by. Maddox now up to 4th. He's going to join this fight up for the lead.
We do have a bit of an update, actually, from Racing Control about the Paul Younger situation. So even though he's currently 16 laps down, he did not turn a qualifying lap, but he will not be parked. Apparently, they're changing that rules. Wolsifer gets a big snap off of turn number 2, and the race for the lead continues to heat up.
And look at Mason. He noticed these guys right on the top side. He's moved up. Runs the outside there in 3 and 4, crosses down underneath Isaiah Sutherland and has the inside now for turn 1. Backs out early. Sutherland's got the better line here off the corner as long as he can keep the car straight. And he does. He's going to have the run to turn 3.
Mason Houseman definitely showing what he's got today. We might get 3 wide.
It could be 3.
Catania. He's coming up on the outside line. Sutherland covers it off. Oh boy, this is getting good. This is why we love Rockingham, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we want to see. 3 wide again going into turn number 1 and turn number 2. Catania now has the car on the outside of the 24, but he taps the wall.
Yeah, I got the wall pretty good there off the corner. That allows Maddox to get down to the inside. Brendan Maddox shoves it up underneath and goes for 3rd place. It's not going to work out that time. Catania falls back a little bit now from the 78 car. All of those advances on the 24 have fizzled out. He's got the lead now by a couple of tenths, but we can't go anywhere. This is way too good to leave.
Stallings has now pulled himself into the mix, so call it a 5-car race for the lead. Just throw them all under a blanket right now. Tanya's back to rip the top side. And he's got the runs out there. He's a little loose outside of Maddox, but he's going to continue to hold on to it. The racing is mostly single file behind them. A couple of fights back there. You've got Trey Walker on the inside and Dakota Camper. But like you said, Andrew, we can't just take away from this. This racing is too good.
Tanya finally gets clear of Maddox. I feel like that top side is good early run, but it's starting to fall away as these tires wear out. I just don't know that it can be replicated that many times over and continue to be that good. It's just, it rips those tires up. It's a lot like at Homestead when we're going next week. It rips tires up to run up top like that. I just don't think it can be, oh, there it is. What do you know? Crash for Catania.
Going around. And Maddox gets a piece of it too. Oh no.
I just don't think it's sustainable.
Well, from the looks of it, you have evidence to back up your claim. Let's take a look at the replay here. It's pretty clear cut and dry what we just saw though. Catania's been ripping the top for lap after lap after lap, and that right rear, it falls away when you're putting so much wheel in it, especially if you're getting loose and getting sideways. The CFM Esports driver ripping the top line, scrapes the wall in 1 and 2. And there's the snap.
Maddox would be none too pleased. That's 2 of your top 4 drivers that have had problems in these openings, the opening stage. This is a big problem now for Jared Hughes and now for Brendan Maddox to have problems like this early in the race. Huge detriment to their days. We saw it on board from Maddox, but we'll watch it again here from his onboard in a second. And this is going to open up the pit lane for an interesting opportunity if these drivers want to take some tires here and run for stage points. I don't think we'll see many takers, but you might see a few. Here's the onboard from Maddox inside the car.
There's the snap. Saw the contact. So a little bit of right front damage on that race car.
He's going to opt to stay out, though.
I would too near this close to the stage.
Fritz is in, Catania's in, Jared Hughes is in, getting tires. I like this call for Jared Hughes. If you're in the back already, come in, get that set. You've got enough for this race. This is a relatively short race. Only 160 laps. This is a 162-mile race. We ran 266 miles last week. I know there's a big speed difference, but that's a big mileage difference as well.
Got an interesting race still up in front of us, and I agree with you. I like this call from Jared Hughes. He's going to be able to bide his time right around for the remainder of the stage and stay out, get some track position at the end of it. He knows he's got pace, and there shouldn't be too much of a difference on tires by the end of the stage. I mean, you're going to run, what, maybe like 8 or 7 green flag laps, and if you get another quick yellow, it just plays more into his favor. So the strategy call there is pretty good. We're hearing that Isaiah Sutherland might have a little bit of right front damage. I don't think it's anything major. I think they were just having some fun with each other under the caution. But these guys have all been tapping the wall here, Andrew, and eventually that's going to wear down on these cars.
I mentioned briefly Miami is next. That is the final race of the season coming up next week, April 1st. Hard to believe we're already this close to April, but yes, you're reading that right. Next Tuesday, April 1st, we're going to Homestead Miami Speedway for the finale this season. I think that's the Buttkicker, so-and-so, however many miles there, 200, so probably 300 if I had to guess. I did some quick math.
Yes, a mile and a half.
There you go. Isaiah Sutherland into the Geico restart zone. We are racing once again at the Rock. Down the backstretch, Thunder Alley. Look at Wolsifer down there looking for 4th. Here comes Carl Pooler on the inside of Wolsifer now. Teammates fighting for 5th.
Side by side through most of the field as they roll. Little wall tap right there for Wolsifer. Keeps straight, keeps it rolling. See Selby on the inside of Adam Buzzio. He's trying to get the stage well. Ooh, look at Camper all the way down the yellow line there. That was a big snap. He's going to be on the inside now. Carl Pooler throws it in there. Pooler hits the wall. Oh, this is getting good right here. Selby on the inside now.
3 wide off the corner. Selby gets loose. He drops down inside of Zachary King. Zachary King is the first car on tires of any kind, and he's just driven into the top 10. He's got 20 lap-old tires, so he pitted under the first yellow. He's got a slight advantage on these guys, and he is using it.
3 wide in the middle. Zachary King. Selby goes inside. Walker outside.
King falls back down to 12th. This is right around the cutoff for stage points. So far, Stephen Borbell and Matthew Selby, they fight it out for 10th. Here comes Nicholas Renner. And Jared Hughes, that car that just took tires to try and get into the stage points here, he is ripping the top. Selby gets loose. That's going to open the door for Hughes. He's up to 12th. Needs to go by Renner and Borbell.
3 wide right behind them. Coulter Clark is ripping around the top side now. It seems like Selby and King can't necessarily get separated from each other, and it's causing a detriment to them as drivers are whipping by them on the outside line. They keep getting 3 wide back here. On board with Jared Hughes, who's ripping the bottom line now. He's only got 1 more car in between him and stage points. It's Stephen Borbell up there in the 10th spot. Gray Walker up on the outside line. He's only got a few more laps until the end of the stage, so he's got to try to see what he can get now. These tires definitely working for that 98 car.
3 to go, not a lot of time. He's got cars right in front of him though. Gray Walker now into 10th. He is right up on them and closing quicker off of turn 2. Borbell now free. He's going to drop down to the inside and just hang on, and that puts Hughes into the points for stage 1.
And it really didn't help that Carl Pooler got a big snap of oversteer right in front of him off of turn number 2. So that's set up for a double pass here. So now Jared Hughes is getting more stage points. He's up into the 9th spot, but it's not going to make too much of a lick of difference because Mason Houseman is going to pull about 8 points.
One on the wall, Wolsifer.
Oh, no.
Camper with him, it's going to be a crash. Big hit, Selby. And Moyer gets a piece at the end.
Race Control calls that stage. Isaiah Sutherland is going to win stage number 1. Mason Houseman, Brendan Maddox, 3 of your top 4 in the championship are now well clear and away.
That stage might have just clinched the championship for Houseman. I'm going to be honest with you. That puts a bunch of points in between himself and Hughes, who is second. Keeps up with Sutherland, who wins the stage. Puts a point on Maddox. That's looking really good for Houseman right now.
Everything is going in the direction of Mason Houseman. Pit stop's underway, and this is exactly what we wanted to see. Looks like Zachary King, Matthew Catania is going to stay out. Ironically, Jared Hughes is coming back down the pit lane.
Got the sets, use them.
Makes sense. He got the track position. Now he's back up to where he needs to be. We've got drivers staying out to stay on the lead lap and gain some track position here. Most of these guys pitted under the first caution. So we'll have to wait and see how that fares, though. I don't know if staying out on old tires right now is actually the way to go. The tire spin should be insane.
Yeah, and who's to say we're actually going to get a caution here in stage 2? It could go green. You never know.
It could. But Sutherland leads them off pit road. Houseman follows. Maddox third. So really, as they came in is as they'll leave. Brendan Maddox didn't look like he got any of that right front damage fixed either. That was a quick stop.
Must not be affecting him too badly. Carl Pooler, slow. He's crashed off the pit lane.
I heard something had happened. I was looking for it.
Cover that quickly and then get to Isaiah Sutherland, rather. I almost called him Mason Houseman. Used to say Mason Houseman with the stage wins. So let's see what happened here to Carl Pooler, and then we'll get Isaiah Sutherland for a quick interview.
They're doubled up. They're ready to go back green flag racing here.
Oh, he just got some wheel spin. Let's see. Do we have time to talk to Sutherland? Let's do it quick. We'll bring him in quickly. Isaiah Sutherland with the stage win. How's the car feel?
Pretty good. I love short tracks. Hopefully, we don't continue the curse of me getting a stage win and then bad luck happening. So hopefully, we're going good. I love this track and keep the car underneath us and stay out of accidents.
We'll get you back up there with your teammates. Best of luck.
10-4. Thank you, brother.
Isaiah
He called it a
Sutherland.
short track.
I know what he called it, Zach, but it's okay that he's wrong. You see Jason Bottoms there staying out. Zachary King stayed out. They both choose the bottom of the racetrack. Here we go. Geico restart zone. We are racing again. A lot of cars choosing the top, and Wolsifer streaked out of the pit lane. Unsure what's going on for Wolsifer, but King is leading.
Well, no.
Oh.
That's the case.
Yeah, that's the caution. That's the caution. That's the black flag for the caution. One car slow, it's Camper. He's down low.
Three wide up front. Maddox is right there on the quarter panel. He is rubbing and beating on the back end of that 24 car.
Jason Bottoms in fourth. Maddox, Bottoms hang on to it. Down to the bottom.
About to say, Jason Bottoms, Van Clubber Joy, good drivers inside the top 5, but he's going backwards quick. Mason Houseman down underneath. We do have an update on that Carl Poole situation. We got a black flag for passing under yellow.
No, never mind, not a caution. I never removed it, I'm sorry. I saw yellow and I panicked.
It's been there for a couple laps. I don't want to get on your case. I noticed it. I don't want to say it.
There was so much happening at the restart. I had to take that down manually. So much happened right there at the restart with Wolsifer. Oh my gosh, it's one of those days, Zach.
We love you, Andrew. You're great for production value when it comes to Pit Stop TV anyway. This is your baby. Sometimes it's okay to have a little hiccup with your baby.
That's one way to put it. Brenner goes by Bottoms. Bottoms back here to the 8th spot. Here comes Buzzy on the inside. Jen's in there as well.
Tires.
Whoa, Nick Renner.
We're 3 wide again. Buzzy in the middle. Now Bornell on the back bumper. Renner.
Crash! One nearly onto his side. It's the 2 of Borbell. Jensen, one up and onto his side. That is on the side for Coulter Clark. He's back down onto all 4s. But he's going to be out of this race, I think.
What did we just see? Coulter Clark, nobody has a pit for repair flag, so it seems like they'll all be continuing.
Accelerate Racing's Coulter Clark just went onto his side. Let's watch it here. Borbell has a problem with Jensen off the corner. Jensen came down into Borbell. And then Jensen comes down the racetrack. Borbell comes down the racetrack. And wow, wheel-to-wheel contact there for Clark.
Any wheel damage on that race car? Lots of wheel damage. But then again, he was in the Renner. Jensen just comes down and hits Borbell, and Borbell was already in low spirits after Talladega, wrecking out early while having an incredibly fast car. You saw Cody Dorsey get involved in there, so that's a hard lick there for that 2 car, and I don't think Stephen Borbell is going to be too happy about having another incident early on.
A lot of cars here into the pit lane. Borbell, Dyer, Clark, Jensen, Skinner, Lewis, Moyer, Bly, Bottoms, Dorsey, Selby. I mean, just so many cars pitting here under this yellow. Another car pitting. Wolsifer, he got his lap back. He is crab walking down the pit lane.
Just a wee bit. Got a little bit of right side damage, and Race Control has deemed the 99 of Jensen at fault, so he'll be the one serving the pass-through penalty when we go back green flag racing. Wolsifer has been having a little bit of bad luck lately.
A little bit. A lot of it. By the way, look who's leading this race now. And chooses the outside lane.
Brendan Maddox. He has been on a tear lately. He's been doing pretty good these last couple of weeks. And, you know, I have got a good feeling about Brendan Maddox. He's got some good things cooking with him, too, with him and Maddox Graphics. So it's fun to see him up front.
Comes into tonight tied for third with Isaiah Sutherland, so 70 out. Lost a stage point there at the stage, so 71 out now. Sutherland is now 69 out. Hughes is going to be somewhere behind them. And we know Houseman's at least going to get about 14 points just for starting this race. Just saying, Zach, it's...
Don't make me do math, please.
Oh, you don't have to.
This championship fight is very close. And when I mean close, I mean it's close for Houseman to lock it up. So here we go again. 50 laps in.
Echo restart zone. Most of the field choosing the outside lane. Green flag is out. Stack up top. Down the back stretch, a side-by-side between Zachary King and Carl Pooler. That's the first battle on the racetrack.
Back up on the restart. Caused a few turned heads back there, but stay green flag racing.
Adam Buzzio, Evan Patinko. Patinko having a really good run to start the day. I believe he got some stage points there in stage 1. Looking for more in stage 2. He's up to 8th spot. Fritz goes by on the outside, though. Scott Fritz is making a comeback.
Fritz has had speed. He's just got to be able to capitalize on it. Carl Pooler sets the fastest lap of the race at 23.81. That's faster than we saw practice and qualifying speeds. So maybe he's got some speed in that race car.
Maybe, I would say so.
Line.
Also, the top 4 in the standings are up to the top 4 on the racetrack.
This could throw a bit of a monkey wrench into the plans of Mason Houseman trying to lock up the championship tonight. Mathematically speaking, though, he's actually got it locked up based on the track position as they run. So this it makes no difference who wins this race. Mason Houseman would pretty much be your champion. That's kind of a negative way to put it, and I don't want to put it that way.
Spin!
Oh, spinner! Turn 4.
Spin in the back. Scott Fritz around, Evan Patinko around. We were just talking about them both. Get a replay and see what happened to these two. See, Fritz in the 48 had got ahead of the 81 of Patinko. Zachary King there in the 51. He's in the frame. Dustin Stallings just on the right side. Just out of frame. Back in here, Patinko just gets into Fritz. Lewis and Moyer make contact going by it. And folks, it may be a solo show from here. Zach Murtis just lost internet. There you see Patinko just right up on the quarter panel, and oh, that's close. Fritz might have come down. Let's back it up and slow it down. Fritz does come down a bit. Patinko's got to get out of the gas here, but Fritz has also got to not come down. That's going to be really close for race control to try and rule on. One car goes down through the grass to miss it. That's Catania down there. And the 16 comes on through. That's Moyer. He's going to make contact with Lewis, who goes wide and then cuts right back down at the last second. Contact there. Field is doubled back up and is ready to go back green flag racing. Short cautions here at Rockingham. Makes it tough to talk to these drivers. We'll do our best. Get a couple of interviews in this evening. One more look back at the schedule. See how we've gotten here. Atlanta, Phoenix, Dover, Kansas, Bristol, Austria, Nashville, Chicagoland, Pocono, Darlington, Daytona, IRB, and Michigan. That was the regular season. Then we got the chase started at St. Louis. Then it was Watkins Glen and Talladega last week. Rockingham tonight, Miami next week. Mason Houseman might have the championship locked up before then. Here we go, back to the ICO restart zone. Green flag on the way. We are racing again at the Rock. Big restart for Houseman. He clears Sutherland off the jump. The inside lane got the big hole shot. Hughes gets a tap from behind. Buzzio gives him a shot. Those are teammates. So Buzzio goes through for fourth. Of course, he's working off that race win a week ago. Zachary King loose in the wall, and that's a crash. No caution yet. We'll stay green. I believe that was Nick Renner who got into him.
That's a big impact there for that 51 to Zach King.
Got into Wolsifer. That was Renner that got into him after. The same thing we've been seeing everybody do off the turn in the team.
Heavy, heavy hits though. See him rolling through turn 2. Big snap. Back into Wolsifer too, and Renner just runs right into him. The luck train continues for Richard Wolsifer, and it is not going in the direction of good luck.
See King there in the pit lane. Here comes the field on the front stretch. Hughes and Pooler are going to fight. Buzzio has run up to these guys. The top 10 are all on the same tires, aside from Jason Bottoms, who pitted 13 laps ago. He is up into 8th. This is a career day right now for Jason Bottoms. New paint scheme on that 87 as well. Caution.
Caution speedway.
Dakota Camper around in the back.
Oh no, that's another hit for Dakota Camper as Maddox sets quick time.
Daytona race winner right here. Been a slide since then. He's had a couple of good runs for sure, but just bad luck. We're going to look at what happened to him here. Of course, he's had some bad luck this evening. Been involved in an incident or two and just gets free off of turn number 2. Up nearly into Moyer, but he locks it down.
Good job getting it locked down. Roll it right back down the racetrack. The banking pushes these cars down when they're not up to speed. It's good to see nobody else got involved in that one. Adam Buzzio, look at that. He's up into 3rd, Andrew. The top 4 in the championship getting split up by Adam Buzzio. Still all championship eligible drivers, but Adam Buzzio splitting the top 4 in contention, if I'm doing my math correctly. And I really, really, really hope I am. Mason Houseman scored 9 points in the stage. Jared Hughes scored... Oh my goodness, where did Jared Hughes finish in the stage? I think he scored about 3 points. So that would mean a 5-point gain. And mathematically speaking, that would take him out of contention, and that would lock the championship up for Mason Houseman. One thing I forgot to realize is that Johnny Wood Jr. is not here.
Correct, yeah. Unfortunately, missing last week at Talladega took him out of the championship. Missing here this evening only solidifies it further.
A bit of a lung virus, I think it was. Right, he had an infection in his lungs. That's what it was, I believe.
You might know more than me after being on the podcast last week.
Yeah, we had a fun time. Let's talk about some racing and whatnot. Things happening for Talladega. And looking forward to Rockingham. I picked Brendan Maddox to win this race, too, while we were on the podcast. So Please, Brendan, do not sour my confidence in you.
A solid pick. He's led some laps here this evening and is looking to lead some more. Has already amassed 19 laps led. And has kind of kicked Sutherland back into the 5th spot here on this restart. He's going to have tough competition on the outside. Adam Buzzio has looked good that last run. Here we go. 15 laps to go in stage number 2. This race is already into its medium-middle stages. Green flag back in the air. We're racing again at the Rock. Sutherland and Hughes do battle there for the 4th spot. Your top 3 get away single file through the corner. Just choosing different lanes. Here comes Sutherland on the bottom side of Buzzio as we get some shade on the racetrack. Let's go make these drivers happy.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder who's going to start coming to life with the sun hiding behind the clouds. Buzzio still in that top line. Everybody else getting mostly single file. The first side-by-side on the racetrack is for that 3rd spot. Buzzio just trying to hang on, but Sutherland's going to have the advantage in the corner. And off turn number 4 just gets clear of Adam Buzzio. Puts that 24 car back up into 3rd.
Houseman falls back. The 24 car here. Sutherland might have a chance to get by him. 1 car in the wall. Jason Bottoms back there. He's going to fall out of the 9th spot and down to 10th in front of Scott Fritz. And here comes Isaiah Sutherland back on the inside.
Who can stop that 24 car, Andrew? He has just been so quick everywhere he puts that race car. The sun coming back out in 1 and 2 now, and I think the one person that might still be able to stop him is that 8 car. Quicker still, Brendan Maddox on the speed chart.
I'd have to agree. Right now it looks really good for Brendan Maddox. Caution. In the back,
Oh.
Cole Lewis.
That's a heavy, heavy hit for that 52.
And you'll notice this is off of turn number 2 again.
Oh, that was going in turn 3 too, so he carried it down the back straightaway.
We got loose there, and then, Wolfsburg filled the hole. Lewis tried to come back up.
Moyer got a bit sideways as well. Man. He can't catch a break.
Richard saw a gap and went for it. Made some contact there with Lewis and brings out another caution. For those 2 drivers will each see that incident a little bit differently. Here we go. Pit stops for a bunch of cars. Braxton Skinner leading the charge down the pit lane. Cody Dorsey, Stephen Borbell, Richard Wolfsburg, Dakota Bly, Robert Moyer, and Sam Dyer all coming in.
More drivers that just need to get some adjustments and
By the
fix
way,
some damage.
Dakota Camper is out of this race.
Oh, no.
Younger is out, 58 laps down. Coulter Clark is out, 22 laps down. Dakota Camper is out, 14 laps down. Matthew Selby is off the racetrack. There's the field rolling around here under caution. They should be choosing this time by. While we have a moment, want to take a look at what's upcoming for us here at Pit Stop TV. Next up, it's the North American Racing League headed to Miami. Yes, we've got 2 Miami broadcasts back to back. Going to be a lot of fun. First, the road course, the North American Racing League, the NARL GT3 Series, season number 7. It's be race number 3 of the season, out of a total of 8 races. They'll be running road course configuration B. Zach, do you know what that means?
No.
That means they run the infield portion around the lake, come back onto the backstretch, and then rip around turns 3 and 4. NASCAR turns 3 and 4. That is going to be a big race to watch, I feel like. 50 or so GT3 drivers running around half of a NASCAR oval.
I didn't know they did that. I thought they just used the No, you know what? No, because they have Formula Academy races over there, and they do use 3 and 4.
It's going to be a fun one. I'm very much looking forward to it. You can keep up with all things Pit Stop TV on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, X, and now TikTok. Keep that in mind as we come around to the Edgar restart zone here and get this race back under green. 8 laps to go. Stage number 2. Green flag, back in the air. Once more, that 24 gets beat on a restart. Going to fire down to the inside, though, of Mason Houseman. That is Isaiah Sutherland, who's on the inside. Brendan Maddox leads.
Go side by side for that second spot. Nowhere to go. Stuck on the bottom line. Isaiah Sutherland. He's had a great car when staying out in the front, but passing is so difficult here. And a lot of people say that when it comes to passing being difficult, they hate seeing it. We got one car in the grass. I think that's Cody Dorsey. No, that's
Jason Bottom.
Oh, no, not Jason Bottom.
Running the extreme bottom line on the front stretch there as Sutherland and Houseman go back to battle. Sutherland way down low, Houseman way up top. Houseman just about got cleared there by the 24. I thought the 24 was beyond his back bumper. Instead, it was nearly Houseman on the 24's back bumper. That was 5 laps to go in stage 2.
That man keeps going quicker, Andrew. He's been out here for how long? He just keeps going quicker.
Houseman now going to clear Sutherland and get back in front of that 24 car. The 0 of Stallings back up into 4th. So you got 3 Maverick Motorsports cars in the top 4 as Houseman goes fastest at a 23.6. Track temps coming down. We keep getting shade. A block there from Houseman.
Stage points on the line, Andrew. We're getting closer and closer to the end of stage number 2. And the fight for second is exactly what Brendan Maddox wants to see in his mirror. You got Jared Hughes back there looking on the inside of Adam Buzzio. He's not close enough to make a move just yet. Now Sutherland realizing these guys are making all their ground up on the high side. He's going to cross over down the back straightaway, get right up on the bumper. Big run going into turn number 3.
Sutherland's still looking to get by that 78 car and keep this fight alive. Stallings grabs the wall. Buzzio there behind, and then Hughes in 6th. 2 laps to go on the stage, that time by for Brendan Maddox. I really can't say enough about this guy. I don't know where this speed has come from. He talked a little bit this week about the fact that these guys have raced this racetrack once before in the series, and I don't think he liked it very much. But he comes back here with that experience and has been absolutely running the wheels off that car, Zach. I mean, lap 80, here we go, the final lap of stage 2. He's leading by a half second over his teammate Mason Houseman, who's about to clinch the championship. And Brendan Maddox, off of turn 4, is going to clinch and win stage number 2.
There is your stage caution.
Things hold steady behind. Houseman, Sutherland, Stallings, and Buzzio, your top 5. Hughes, Pooler, Patinko, Walker, and Catania, your top 10.
What a run. What an absolute masterclass of the stage for Brendan Maddox. Absolutely dominated the field.
Mentioned track temp coming down a little bit. It's down to 91 degrees. It's been about there most of the race. Air temp 74.8. Partly cloudy skies. We didn't check this at the start. We definitely should have, considering how important track temp can be here. But we've got a good baseline now. As there you see, it drops down to 90 degrees. We'll keep an eye on that as the evening goes on. We're halfway through this race now and quickly approaching the end.
A busy pit lane, Andrew. This should be a race-defining stop. Into the box for Brendan Maddox. See everyone falling in.
Braxton Skinner will stay out under this yellow. He pitted 12 laps ago. Everybody should need fuel from here. One more stop at least, but it's just the one stop, and they won't need a whole lot of fuel, just a little bit, as Hausman's going to win the race off pit lane.
Oh boy, that's big.
That track position for Mason is going to be huge. Let's dial up Brendan Maddox here, who wins stage number 2. We'll be talking with driver number 8, winning a stage here at Rockingham. How about that, Brendan? How's the car feel?
I mean, it feels pretty good. I know I've got the damage on the front end. It happened early on in the race. I think it was the 18 Catania that spun into me coming out of, was it turn 2? So I feel like I've been contending with that. I had some damage last night in the practice race like this, and it didn't affect me too bad. So we're just trucking right along with it.
What's it going to take to get the 8 car in victory lane tonight?
Tire saving.
Tire saving. A pretty quick answer. Do you feel like you can do that better on the top or the bottom?
Yes. It just depends. I feel like I can run anywhere. To be honest with you, the car feels great. It's just a matter of making sure you hit marks on entry. Don't throttle up too early in the corner, and then don't pound the wall and exit, and you'll come home pretty good.
Good to talk to you. It's been a while. Best of luck here on stage 3.
Thank you, guys.
Brendan Maddox, your stage 2 winner. Gonna restart here in position number 4. Here we go. Back around to the restart zone. iRacing.com safety car back to the relative safety of pit lane, and look at all those cars on the top side. Looks like a throwback restart, but it's not. Green flag back in the air for Braxton Skinner. Hausman just drove straight underneath Braxy Tad and pulls away. Skinner back to third off the restart. Maddox up to second. Here comes Stallings. He's fourth. Sutherland there as well. They're going to be 3 wide. No, Sutherland backs out. That was smart.
Sutherland gets followed up here on the restart, falling backwards behind Braxton Skinner now. Buzzio ripping around the top. Lucifer still hanging tough inside the top 10. Now the fight goes to the up front positions. Maddox and Hausman single file with Stallings right behind. The fight focus is on Sutherland and Buzzio. Lucifer taking a peek through the middle, but he's going to fall in line right behind Adam Buzzio. Ooh. Why did they only make this 160 laps, Andrew? I could sit here for 250, maybe more. Skinner up the top of the track. Buzzio through the middle.
Hughes down low. Jared Hughes trying to work back through the top 10. 3 wide now. Pooler in the middle. Skinner up top. That's going to end poorly. Yeah, Skinner on the wall. Here comes Nicholas Renner. He's going to try and go by, and he will. That's good for 10th. Ray Walker there in tow. Only 2 cars did not pit under that caution. Those being Braxton Skinner and Eric Jensen, who's 10 laps down. Out front, it's all Mason Hausman. Single file now. Sutherland drives down nearly across the nose of Adam Buzzio, who makes a dive there late into the corner. I'll tell you what, you don't see many colored rims anymore with the next-gen car, the Gen 7. But those red rims on that 5 car look good tonight. Maddox in the wall. One spin against Pooler. You're kidding me. Another driver with just terrible luck.
And no caution. Oh, no. Heavy blows for Carl Pooler. Get a look at that left front, Andrew. It is killed. Up front, though, Mason Hausman still hanging on to control of this race. Brendan Maddox, Dustin Stallings, Isaiah Sutherland, Adam Buzzio. Sutherland taking a look to the inside of Stallings, trying to get that car up there in the third spot. Oh, one car loose down the back straightaway.
That was Nick Renner, who's driven up to 7th spot. Got ahead of Scott Fritz and Jared Hughes, at least for a moment. Renner now falling back. I gotta say, for Wolfsburg, this is a big-time comeback. We should have an award for that. And he has been through the ringer already this season, and we're only a little ways past halfway. But he is back into 6th.
Can we nominate it for Lucky Performance, Lucky Break of the Day?
I wouldn't even say Lucky Performance, Lucky Break of the Day. I mean, it's just been a solid drive. It's going to be a driver of the date kind of thing.
Attrition. That's the best way to put it. Up front, though, Stallings and Sutherland going at it. Fighting for third. This is a big thing, Andrew, this top side. That's the big thing that's the talk of the race. It's been very, very powerful to utilize. And I think the best way that it's been utilized is for defensive maneuvers, just holding off and keeping drivers behind you. And the run you get off the top side is tremendous as Buzzio drops to the bottom. Wolfsburg goes on by. It's proven to be useful to run that top line. Big run off of turn number 2, or turn number 4 for Brendan Maddox. Goes right up to the back bumper.
I still just don't know how sustainable it is, especially in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 seems a little more tame, and that's why you see Maddox go down low. Let's see what he does down here in 3 and 4. He's been running the top side this time. He goes back down to the bottom. I just don't think you can keep running the top like that the entire race and get away with it. I just think it's too risky.
Well, it's working for that 8 car. He is doing everything he needs to do, and he's doing it right at the moment.
It's working for him sometimes. He's not running it every lap.
We saw how it worked out for Catania.
Yeah, poorly.
And who else got involved in that? Brendan Maddox. But he wasn't necessarily running the top. He was just in a situation where he had nowhere to go. But Catania has recovered to 14th at the moment. So still in a decent position, you know, to be able to move forward and still have a shot to be able to contend for this race. But, you know, a lot of these guys have been tapping that wall on the outside line, whether it be off of turn number 2, through the corners, or just on the front straightaway as well. It's just finding that smooth rhythm, not over-driving the car, and just utilizing what you have with the track in front of you.
You know who else isn't here tonight? Zachary Maddox. Couldn't make it, and he's stuck in Longview, Texas on his way back home.
Oh my.
But, could we suspect that maybe he can be 4th right now and make it a Maverick Motorsports 1, 2, 3, 4? Because right now it's Maverick Motorsports 1, 2, 3, and Houseman leading Maddox and Stallings around the racetrack. Just saying, it's really good looks right now out of Maverick.
Maverick Motorsports definitely has a very strong competition tonight. Look at Stallings taking a look to the inside of the 8 of Brendan Maddox. And when you've got 3 fast cars, Andrew, with 60 laps to go here, when does the team game come into play? Do you block for Houseman and secure that championship lockup when you've got 2 drivers with mathematic eligibility to win the championship? Or do you allow Maddox and Stallings to race Houseman and potentially put him in a position where he could lose his locked-up position on the championship stranglehold?
You know, it's a good question. I don't think they're thinking about that right now, though. I think right now what they're trying to do is just save their tires for the end of the race. We heard Maddox talk about saving tires here, trying to get that long-run speed. And we know how quick these 3 are on a single-lap speed kind of thing. We've seen the purple laps one after another. I really have to believe that right now they are saving their stuff and just riding around happy with the top 3. Here comes Sutherland. He's clearly making advances, but the top 3 I don't think are doing much.
Saw Sutherland get loose, a little sideways off of turn number 2. It's going to derail the momentum he had on Stallings. Here's Wolfsburg to the inside of Adam Buzzio. Wolfsburg got pretty loose actually a couple laps ago, so he's kind of dropping back.
Buzzio taking that spot away. Wolfsburg on the top side through 1 and 2. Fritz is up to 7th. Renner into 8th. And Wolsifer, oh my goodness, that was a big time wiggle. Down to the inside, loses that spot to Fritz. Here come Renner and Hughes. Walker working on a top 10. Corbell into 11. On board with Nick Renner.
Renner having a really good run tonight up here in the 8th spot. Looking to the outside of Wolfsburg's going to have a run here. Wolfsburg's going to give him the lane barely.
You know, we said it on the
racing.
podcast a few weeks ago, and that was when we announced he'd be joining Whiplash Racing. And we said it before on the broadcast. All he needs is a day where he doesn't get involved in some trouble. He's got speed. He just needs some good luck. Here on lap 106, he's up to 7th spot and working on 6th position, it looks like. Working up to Scott Fritz. He just needs a day where nothing bad happens. He's already been in the back of Zachary King, who had that problem up turn 2 a while ago. He's got his bad luck out of the way, maybe. We'll have to wait and see for Nick Renner if he has a top 10 in store. Runs the top there through 1 and 2, scrapes the outside wall. And things are holding steady. This is a very quiet part of the race right now, Zach.
It's been chaos the entire race. You guys have been all over the place, trying to find speed, trying to find grip, trying to find position. As Renner scrapes the wall one more time there in 1 and 2. Gets to pull away from Scott Fritz and gets to the back bumper of, it looks like Adam Buzzio here. So there's so much that has gone on. We've got a lap car coming up as well. Ooh, that was tight there between Renner and Buzzio. But like I was saying, Andrew, we've had so much going on that it's kind of nice to have a little bit of a reprieve here.
Whoa, Nick Renner.
I'm just gonna stop talking.
Big wheel there off of turn number 2. Free in turns 3 and 4. Just hangs on to the race car. Had a lot of speed, but that's what happens. You overheat your tires and you start sliding around. He falls back to 8th position. Walker there in 9th. Borbell 10th. Wolfsburg has had a big slide. He's down to 12th spot. And Renner gets in line there in 9th. That King going a lap down.
He was running up front earlier. Had a lot of good speed.
He's actually gone a 3rd lap down, crushes the outside wall there. And that's 3 wide off the corner. That's tight. They just make it through as Catania makes his way back into the top 10.
There's a comeback for the 18. Oh, we got a yellow.
Dorsey,
Robert
Moyer.
That's a heavy impact for that 16. That was driver's side in the outside wall.
Racing around 3 of the 4. I can't recall the team name. Full send cars. Dorsey, Patinko, and Bottoms. And he just drove up into Dorsey.
Close quarters racing. We were talking about it just a little bit ago. You know, I feel like it's one of the reasons I consider Rockingham to be a short track. It's kind of like Darlington in a way. There's not a lot of racing room.
Well, Darlington's an intermediate as well.
Oy vey.
You can't get me there. Darlington is absolutely an intermediate.
I know Darlington's an intermediate. Oh boy.
Saying you're comparing it to an intermediate, it must be an intermediate. But we've got big-time pit stops underway here. Maddox, Sutherland, Houseman, Walker, Stallings, everybody in. Houseman's first down and away. And it's a Maverick Motorsports 1-2-3 once again.
And in my defense, I've compared Pocono to a road course.
That's fair. I wouldn't call it an oval.
Oy vey.
One car slow after the pit stops. I think Renner's got a penalty.
Adam Buzzio speeding, pit road. And if I'm looking...
I think Renner and Buzzio both do.
Oh boy. Oh boy. They're currently protesting their case with race control, but I don't think race control is going to disregard the iRacing officials. So, tail end for two drivers that had a lot of speed. And look at this. Sutherland chooses the top, and all of the Maverick Motorsport cars choose the bottom. This could get interesting.
I think it already has, Zach. We're down to 45 laps to go here at the green flag.
Even more interesting.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting restart. Look at Fritz. He's up to 4th. Hughes in 6th. And Wolsifer and Borbell, Patinko and Walker. This is going to be a fun one.
A shaken up field. How you like
Restart
it? Shaken or
coming.
stirred?
I like shake and bake. Here we go. Restart on the way. 45 laps to go. Green flag back in the air here at Rockingham. Saw off the green that Sutherland wanted to get down on Maddox's door, and Maddox wanted to get an arc into the corner. Did a little bit of contact there. Maddox looks to the inside of Houseman on the front stretch.
Cars in the wall off turn number 2 towards the back of the pack. Right around where Buzzio and Renner were. Maddox all the way down to the bottom. Doing about half a lane to the yellow line, keeping Sutherland in tow. Gets a run here on Mason Houseman. Houseman goes to the bottom. Maddox goes to the top, flip-flop of what they were in 1 and 2. Big run off turn number 4 for the 8, and Maddox is on attack mode now. He's going for it.
Maddox pokes to the inside there, had the lead for a second. Falls back in behind the 78 car, or at least alongside of him, as Wolsifer gets free off the corner. And Stallings goes back by the 24 of Sutherland.
Maddox still running that bottom line. He is not clear now. He is new race leader. It's Brendan Maddox back out in front of Mason Houseman. So now the tables have turned with the 8 car out in front, and Nicholas Renner sets quick time of the day with a 23.57.
One on the wall, down low. I think that's Bottoms, and it is.
Oh man, the Jason Bottoms fan club was having a grand old time when that 87 car was up in the top 5, and now he can't catch a break either.
Terry Stallings, Burgers and Fries, number 87. Having an up and down day for sure at Full Send Racing. Had a really good run going there for a little bit. Just had that big slide off of turn number 2 and is trying to recover. Out front, Maddox driving away from Houseman and Stallings. It's go mode apparently.
But I tell you, he was on attack. Now he's driving away with less than 40, well actually 40 laps to go now, with more drivers bouncing off the turn 2 wall. This is looking more and more like Brendan Maddox's race. You know, should the pit stops fall where they may towards the end of this race, we could see him run away with it. I think long run speed has been great for that 8 car. Same for the 78 and the 24, but with Maverick Motorsports in control of the top 3 positions, it's going to be just defense for that Racers for Christ 24.
Good news, Zach. You mentioned pit stops. We should be done for pit stops for the day unless we get a late race caution. These guys might dive back down for tires, but for fuel, they are done, good to go to the end.
Actually, that reminds me, who has extra sets of tires right now?
Well, the leaders, the top 4, have taken 3 stops so far out of the 5 that you can do for tires. So they've all got a set in the pit lane. The one I'd be concerned about would be Jared Hughes. He's taken 4 stops. He's got 1 set left.
He's got to use that wisely then. If we get a late race caution, that'd be a great time to slap those tires on. That's only if you get a lot of takers to the pit lane. If you don't get a lot of takers, you're just going to drop a heck of a ton of track position. So it could play out of his favor. We saw Wilson making a move to the inside of Sutherland. As we take a look at Renner.
Just drove around and think of him standing still.
Yeah. The fight up front though. Wolsifer still the inside of Sutherland. He's on the back bumper of Stallings. That outside line's going to prevail here for the 24. Oh, goodness.
Awfully close there off the corner.
You're scaring me, Andrew.
On board with the 56 car of Richard Wolsifer. And drivers, this is something we can do here right before the end of the season. We can get your driver picture on these graphics. We got the graphic figured out. It was broken for a while. It's fixed. You see Richard Wolsifer there on the bottom right of your screen. You can submit your driver pictures to Andrew@pitstoptv.com. So by email, Andrew@pitstoptv.com. Moving on, Sutherland gets down to the inside of Stallings. Wolfsburg gets free off the corner, gets the wall off the corner as well. Drives the back end of Sutherland. These guys are just straight up wheeling it right now.
All race, guys just getting a little too tight out of turn number 2 and hitting that outside retaining wall. Got to move right back there. Renner on the inside of Fritz. He is mounting a comeback. He's got in front of Jared Hughes. Ooh, runs him right to the wall.
Bullied Fritz to get by. Here comes Hughes now on the inside of Fritz.
Rubbing his racing, they say.
Rubbing his racing. But Fritz will remember that.
I'm sure he will. They say an elephant never forgets. Well, we've never met a race car driver.
Fritz in the wall there. Whoa, look at that in the back. Titania, Walker, and Buzzio all on the wall at the same time.
I don't think Buzzio was too happy with what just transpired there. He takes a dive down to the inside of Walker.
It's good for 11. Maddox, by the way, is out to a 9/10 of a second lead. 31 laps to go that time by.
That 8 car, Andrew, it's just come to life.
It's been alive.
We don't see a lot of Brendan Maddox drive away domination type races. This is one heck of a great run by Brendan Maddox, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Andrew, he's still waiting for his first win on the season.
Yes, he is.
He's trying to join the rest of his Maverick Motorsport compatriots. Had a little bit of a voice there. Mason Houseman's dominated with the most wins on the season. Stallings has run away with 2 wins. He got one at Nashville and one at Pocono, if I believe I remember correctly. Oh, Wolsifer having some problems. Turn number 4, saw a big snap right there. Renner jumps to the inside. And that is 2.5 for the 11 car. So Renner running quick times, and I'm gonna give a little tidbit here before I turn back over to you. Last time by was a 24:14 for Renner, and Maddox was a 24:07. So not a lot of separation between those two.
Oh, Sutherland just drives into Stallings off the corner. About wrecked the 0. There goes Renner right on through to 3rd. Sutherland hangs on. Stallings hangs on. That was crazy off the corner.
Oh boy.
Renner throwing a block there on Sutherland.
Well, he got
coming
loose
by.
on the 2.
This
So
has
now-
gotten crazy in the last 30 laps.
Crazy. It's been crazy. Crazy.
Well,
I was crazy once. They locked me in a room.
I like it. It had quieted down for a little while, but it's getting crazy again. Wolfsburg free off the corner, gets the wall. Here comes Stallings back on the inside. He dives. Nearly gets into Wolfsburg, nearly gets into Fritz. Hughes gets tight. Catania gets the wall. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Zafer's getting turned.
Watch him back on the racetrack.
racetrack.
Oh my gosh. Catania into Fritz. There's no caution yet. iRacing cautions. No yellow.
I have no words. I have
I
No
thought for
word.
sure that would have been a yellow. Watch Wolsifer and Stallings. Stallings dives, pushes up, you're right. Off the corner, Wolsifer drives down into him for a moment, but then Stallings comes up and gets into the 56 car and just hooks him, and then Wolsifer just throws the car up the racetrack. I mean, not much he could do there. And he gets run into from behind by the 48, but that is day done for Wolsifer for sure.
Hearing a lot of chatter of that being on Wolsifer there.
I don't know. The only thing you can argue that he did was run down the racetrack a little bit, and frankly, I don't think that's a good argument. Let's watch this here. He runs down a little bit there, and then he's established his line, and Stallings comes up.
That's on Stallings, if you ask me. Clear cut and dry right there. It's the way the D oval goes sometimes. You know, you can be committed to your line and not necessarily know that you've got to put a little bit of wheel in it. And then as Fritz comes down, you see Catania try to miss it, and he turns right into the 48, ending both their days.
I think Catania about pushed Walker out of the way to get Walker by it.
Oh,
Maddox
no
leading.
caution. That's what he likes to see, Andrew.
1.1 seconds now, 1.2 seconds now between Maddox and Houseman out front. Sutherland into third, Renner into fourth. They've spaced out finally. Orbell fifth, I don't know how, but props there. Hughes is sixth, he goes by Robert Moyer Jr. Buzzio seventh. Evan Batinko in eighth. Ray Walker in ninth, and Braxton Skinner has made it back into the top 10 here. Stallings is down to 11th.
Throw a monkey wrench into it, why don't you? With 20 laps to go here on Pit Stop TV, this has just been a crazy, crazy Rockingham race. I don't know who you're going to pick for driver of the day, Andrew. I feel like I have my two picks already, but I'm just going to hold off and wait and see what you say first.
I'm going to be honest with you, Zach. I was reading Race Control's comments. I honestly did not hear you.
I was saying that I have my picks already for driver of the day, but I'm going to hold off and see what you say first.
Good call. 20 laps to go. We tried it at Talladega where we picked after the checkered. Didn't like that very much. So we're going to pick now. While these guys run, we'll take some scenic shots around the racetrack and make the selections for driver of the day. Let's see. The NARL driver of the day. You want me to go first? I never do that.
Well, I feel like I know who you're going to pick, and I'm not lying to you. I want to pick Brendan Maddox, but I already picked him to win, so I don't want to pull some commentator's curse type deal here.
I'll do it. Brendan Maddox.
There you go.
And I'm also going to pick Ray Walker. He's been quiet in the top 10, running ninth. Give him a shot.
Well, I think my two picks here, I think I'm going to go with Mason Houseman and Nick Renner. Renner's had a good run. He's had some comebacks here and there. He's got backed up like Orbell, but still running in the top 5. And Houseman's just been on fire. He hasn't really been outside of the top 5 for about 95% of the race. The only time he was outside the top 5 was when they all did that big pit stop conundrum towards the end of the stage. I mean, it's been a solid day for all 4 of the drivers we just picked.
So for Brendan Maddox, he is a nominee here for driver of the day. We've also got Nicholas Renner in the 11. Ray Walker in the 25. And of course, Mason Houseman in the 78. He was on his way to clinching that championship here tonight. 15 laps to go. He's 15 laps away from a championship.
With how the math runs, that 78 is going to be locking up that championship. And I gotta say, Andrew, it's been a dominating performance all season long for Mason Houseman. You know, he's had a lot of great runs. He does a lot of great things with his program here on the iRacing.com sim. Look at all the win stickers on the side of that race car, Andrew. You know that man has talent. He's got so much capability to be able to run so good at so many different racetracks and keep his foot in it. And, you know, it's absolutely amazing. And credit to what he's been able to do.
And he's looking to break a win tie at some point with Gavin Rogers. Whoa, my gosh, that was close there with Sutherland getting to the outside of him. He's looking to break a win tie. I don't know if it's going to happen tonight unless we get a caution. But he is looking to break that tie with Gavin Rogers and be the winningest driver in the BRB Racing League. He can do it next week at Miami. That's a driver racetrack. That's somewhere he can do it for sure. Might be an off night for him. You know, he talked very candidly about the fact that he hasn't run many laps here going into this evening. I'm sure he did some practice beforehand, but hadn't run laps at the track really before earlier this season. Doesn't know much about Rockingham. Was very candid, very honest about that. But honestly, he's shown like he knows the place. Has been top 3 just about all night long. Led 33 laps. He might get passed up here for third, but for second rather. But hey, that's just how it goes.
I love how we can say a podium finish is still an off night for this man.
Right.
Well, he got a bumper from the back from the 24. And there was a fight right there for second. That's brought in Stephen Borbell as we've crossed the 10 lap to go mark here at Pit Stop TV. Just about a second back from Brendan Maddox is this fight for second. Then you've got Stephen Borbell, Nick Renner, Jared Hughes, Adam Buzzio, Evan Patinko, Gray Walker, and Braxton Skinner. Still holding on in your top 10 rundown. Not too far behind is Jason Bottoms. He's gotten back up into the 11th spot. Sam Dyer, Matthew Catania, Justin Stallings, and Cody Dorsey. That has been the run of this race. And let's talk about Patinko for a second, Andrew. This man has been a very quiet driver throughout the season. And Patinko has had some success in different areas. When we cover the Icon Cup Series, he's one of the drivers that was contending over there. He made the playoffs last season here, or the chase, excuse me, here in the BRB Buttkicker Cup Series. You know, and he was one of the last ones out there towards the end of the regular season. Patinko has improved a lot, and I say a lot because he's had a lot more top 10 consistency. The finishes may not show it all the time, but he's had a lot more consistency running inside the top 10 lately.
I don't want to say that we might have been too far down the Maddox train a little bit too early, but as you saw that battle picking up there with Walker and Patinko, we'll let them do their fighting. Brendan Maddox is slowing down, Zach. 7 laps to go. He is slowing down. Houseman and Sutherland are starting to run him down.
Goes in by about 2-3 tenths over the course of the lap. The outside line is still the defensive lane, and that's what he's going to be banking on. With Borbell coming into the mix, though, Andrew, he's not really having a dog in the fight of the Master Motorsport crew. So he's going to try to fight these guys for position. And right now, even just fighting with Sutherland is allowing him to pull away.
And this is going to help Maddox a bunch. Borbell and Sutherland racing here for third. This is going to help the 8 car. I don't know that Houseman's going to pass the 8. So this is really going to help the 8 with 5 laps to go, as there goes Borbell on through for third. Renner 5th, Sutherland now 4th. Hughes in 6th. Patinko and Walker, they do battle. Still, Patinko with the spot. Walker in 9th. 4 laps to go. Is Houseman going to be able to run that 8 car down? There's a lot of lap traffic. Boyer gets out of the way. Next up will be Dakota Bly. And Cole Lewis, and it looks like Zachary King. 3 laps to go this time by.
5 tenths separated. The lap traffic could really start to play a factor in how this race is decided. Houseman looking to break a record. Brendan Maddox looking to really get that first win of the season. That's the big talking point we've had. Brendan Maddox trying to get that first win on the season. Oh my gosh, he almost got taken out by the lap car. That's going to hold up Mason Houseman coming off of turn number 4. It's popsicle sticks in the air for Brendan Maddox.
And Maddox could be lucky break of the day from earlier and might be our first lucky break of the day win for Lucky Performance. This could be huge for the 8 car.
The lap cars are getting in the way, Andrew. I think it's all over. 9 tenths back, almost a second now to Mason Houseman. Maddox has got it on lock. White flag in the air presented by Whiplash SimCam. It's all number 8 out front.
Not much he's got to do now. Brendan Maddox coming around. Next time by is the checkered flag. Last season he got his win at Talladega. That was last week. Couldn't quite get it done. Was passed up coming to the checkers. this week, Brendan Maddox is going to make good on this season and get himself a win. It's going to come at the Rock. Brendan Maddox to victory lane. And a long run to the end is done well by Brendan Maddox. Led a whole bunch of laps. Nailed those restarts at the end. Drove by his teammate who has gotten the most wins this season. Everything done right by the 8 car tonight.
Hey, he picked the right time to come alive, Andrew. What a job done by that number 8 car. He may not be able to get that championship, but he's definitely going after that second place in the championship. Maverick Motorsports looking to take 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. That would be one heck of a score, and I believe, Andrew, with how the math shakes up and a second place finish on the day, your champion should be Mason Houseman.
Unofficially, Mason Houseman is your champion this season. I believe he's got enough points still, but we'll wait on more official wording from the series before we go too far down that train. Right now, what we know is Brendan Maddox has got himself a win this season. It comes at Rockingham here in race 17 of 18. And boy, does he do it in style.
Maverick Motorsports once again celebrating as a group. I'm sure Braxton Skinner celebrating the top 10 finish. And it's a 3-wide Polish victory lap salute for the Maverick Motorsport group. I'm sure Zachary Maddox is here watching, seeing his team
he's been watching
celebrating
the whole thing.
Once again.
Zach Maddox has been watching the whole thing as you see the 78, the 8, and the 0 take their joint Polish victory lap here at Rockingham. It's very unofficial, but again, we believe Mason Houseman will be your champion this season after this finish in second place. So this is a big-time W across the board for that team.
What a job well done for this entire team to pull off what was a great finish there.
We'll await word from admins and series organizers about Mason Houseman clinching the championship. We're waiting on something right now. I see Stephen Borbell is typing.
Word.
This may be the time that the word comes down on this. We're going to take just a moment to pause here before we take a look at the unofficial race results. Brendan Maddox, though, 79 laps led, only as low as 12th, rather, started 9th, drove through the top 10, wins this race. Solid effort there by the 8 car. And it's always good when the 8 goes to victory lane and now has back-to-back winning seasons. Again, did it at Talladega last season, Rockingham this season. And while it's not 100% official word, it's 99% official word. We'll take it. Mason Houseman, we believe, is your series champion this season in the BRB Racing League.
Only person, so we're getting an update from league officials at the moment. Only person who can catch him right now would be Brendan Maddox with this win tonight, Andrew. But I still don't think, with the stage points collected by Houseman, that it's even a possibility.
Well, tell you what, let's take a look at unofficial race results and kind of go on from there. That way we can wrap up the driver of the day vote as well, which is now tied between Brendan Maddox and Gray Walker. Gotta break that tie here quick. So unofficial race results this evening, of course, Brendan Maddox with the race win is up top. Mason Houseman second, Isaiah Sutherland in third, Stephen Borbell, Nick Renner your top 5. What a powerful top 5, a lot of speed there in that group. Jared Hughes as well, 6th, Adam Buzzio 7th, Gray Walker 8th, Evan Patinko and Braxton Skinner your top 10.
Moving down through the field, Sam Dyer, 11th on the day. That has got to be one heck of a finish for that 35 group. Jason Bottoms ends up 12th, a solid recovery after having a couple of close calls. Matthew Catania, Dustin Stallings, 13th and 14th on the day. Cody Dorsey, Carl Pooler, 15th and 16th. And you've got Cole Lewis in 17th after what was almost a crazy incident there towards the end of the race, letting the leader go. First car 1 lap down, by the way. Scott Fritz right behind him, 1 lap down in the 18th spot. Dakota Bly ends up 19th, 2 laps down, and Zachary King, after being up in the top 5 for some of the night, he ends up 3 laps down in the 20th spot.
21st, Robert Moyer Jr. just ahead there of Richard Wolsifer, Eric Jensen, Dakota Camper, Coulter Clark, Matthew Selby, and Cole Younger. Most of these drivers do not finish the race this evening. Some big problems there across the board. A lot of unofficial.
And that's a motor blown for the winner.
Well, anyway, let's take a look at the NARL Driver of the Day vote. And wouldn't you know it, it will be Brendan Maddox with the NARL Driver of the Day this afternoon and evening. A solid job done by driver number 8. Brendan Maddox is your driver of the day. Let's bring him in. He's today's race winner. He's today's driver of the day. Brendan Maddox, we spoke to you after that stage 2 win, but did you think at that point in time we'd be talking to you again with the race win?
I think I would be lying if I said no. Mason's quick, Isaiah's quick, Dustin, Richard. I think Steven finished 4th. He's quick too. I was just talking to Isaiah there in the waiting room, and there's, we named like 6 of us who could have easily won this race tonight, just on pace. So I'd be lying if I said no. I put in several hundred laps worth of practice for this race tonight, so it was definitely my goal to come out here and get a win. And I have Tassel Smart Alarms on the car as well. It's a sponsor I've carried for a couple seasons now, and to get them a win here in the playoffs as well, the chase as well is I don't think I've ever worked so hard for a race in my life, and it's paid off.
And you go back to practice even. You led practice over your teammate Mason House, but I believe you had about 90 laps turned, most of anybody. You put the work in. That's got to make this win that much more special for all of your labor to go in and the fruits to pay off. This is a really satisfying win for you, I'd say.
100%. I won at Talladega last season. You guys were on board for that, but what everyone says about super speedway races, anyone can win them. So not that I feel like I had a thing to prove here, but I did have a chip on my shoulder to get a win this season, and to get it at Rockingham, which is just such a tough track to drive. And man, Mason had so much pace. Dustin as well. I think he got in an incident, but I got to shout out my team. I think I have the best team on the grid here. They're awesome to work with, awesome to race with, and awesome to be in a channel with. And I got no other words for it. It's freaking awesome.
Well, congratulations, Brendan Maddox. Another race win to your total here in the series. And now you've got back-to-back winning seasons as well. It's a whole lot of good things going on for car number 8. Congratulations. Good to talk to you, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, guys. Yes, sir. See you guys next week.
Brendan Maddox with the race win in the Castle Smart Alarm number 8 Toyota Camry. Zach will move on down to second place. This is a special one. We believe he is your champion, Mason Houseman, second place.
Second place on the day, and one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Mason, you turned some amazing laps there. You lucked out to your teammate, but I don't think you'd want to finish second to anybody else on the racetrack.
Yeah, our entire plan tonight was, I told him I want to be a team player. I told him I didn't really care about any records. I just wanted him to get a win tonight. When we were going through stage 2, I believe that's when we were talking about the stage 3 race. We solidified it. I went up high and I let him go. Then me and Dustin were going to block off Isaiah and all of them. We were just trying to get him to win tonight, because I was just trying to seal the deal tonight with the Drivers' Championship and just make it so that it's a lot easier for me in Miami. I'm pretty sure all I need to do is just show up now. And
Selfless, humble. Love it.
I'm pretty sure all I need to do is just show up at Homestead and I win it. So, but I just wanted my teammate to win. That's really all I wanted to do. Brendan's been such a great driver this year, and he deserves every third, fifth, whatever. I almost said DNF. He doesn't deserve those DNFs, but he deserves this win tonight.
Well, I don't think anybody deserves DNFs, but the win is one way to kick it off these last couple of races. And, you know, we were just talking about it momentarily. You should, like you said, only have to show up, and you should be the Season 3 champion here for the BRB Buttkicker Cup Series. I mean, are you going to try to go out to Homestead next week, break that win record, and take the most all-time wins, just go out in dominating fashion on Season 3, or do you think it's just ride around and take that championship trophy home for the night?
Wow, you actually got me off guard with that one, because I wasn't really thinking about it. I mean, obviously I want to win, but I'm just gonna ride around and enjoy it. I mean, this will be the last full season that I'm doing for at least a season, because I get to come back October 20th now, so that'll be the end of season 4. So that means I should be back for season 5, which is better than what I was anticipating. But I wouldn't mind when to call the season.
A cruise control championship, we'll call it, at Homestead Miami Speedway. Congratulations, Mason. You drove a great race today. We look forward to seeing you for one more time before you have to step away for a season at Homestead. Congratulations on your second place finish, and congratulations on what should be your championship.
Yeah, thank you, boys. And I want to say thank you to you guys. You know, you guys are doing great this season. You guys put out a great product. Every broadcast is perfect. I want to thank Andrew and to help me get my broadcast experience, help him with NARL. And then Zach, I want to thank you. I know you had a recent announcement coming up, so I want to thank you for letting me join with that. And then I want to thank everybody in the league. You know, we've had a great season. I was getting a little worried there at the beginning, but we've had a great end of the season. I mean, we've had a heck of drives, heck of wins, and a lot of people that have won this season, which is really good. I obviously want to say congratulations to Adam and his wife. I don't know if they've announced it to their entire family, so I'm not going to say what they're announcing, but they'll know what I'm saying. I'm congratulating them on. And then I want to say congratulations to Brandon. You know, he deserves this win. And then I want to say congratulations to our entire team tonight. We had a great night. And yeah, I want to say thanks to Rev and all the admins. You know, you guys are the core of this league, and I always want to say thank you or give my appreciation to you guys.
Well, the Murder Esports group is happy to have you, and I'm sure Andrew is incredibly happy to have more broadcasting people, especially when I text him and say, hey, I'm stuck at work, I can't make it. So I'm sure he's happy to have more people helping him out here as well. But congratulations again, man. Thank you for everything you do as well here at Pitstop TV. I'm sure Andrew's incredibly grateful. And again, we look forward to seeing you next week. Congrats again.
Yes, thank you, boys. Have a good rest of your night.
Absolutely. A humble and content Mason Houseman on a second place finish and a lockup on the championship. Like I said, Andrew, it's going to be a cruise control championship for Mason Houseman.
Move on down to third place, Isaiah Sutherland, who ends up just a little bit shy after that stage 1 win. Does not take the race win here this evening. 43 lap sled, empty-handed. That's got to sting a little bit.
Hey, it's racing, you know. It's you're gonna lose more than you're gonna win. I'm only happy that I'm finally getting back in the groove of finishing pretty decently and not getting involved in stuff. Talladega, that was a mess, you know. We're at the end of the season, and I had those 3 bad races where I just didn't finish in the regular season. So I had the points lead, and then I got kicked back on my heels. And so, you know, when you're in the position of getting kicked back on your heels, especially in the playoff, you got to try stuff. So Talladega was not what I expected. Had a good stage and won it, and created a Ricky Bobby flew through me, and then I wrecked, you know. But I was going for it, and tonight I think I had the mentality of going for it, but just having fun. I mean, the points gap to Mason, and for now, it's going to be tough. Brendan did well tonight too, so it's going to be tough, and I'm just showing up here to have fun, really, and having a lot of fun. I love this track. I think the big issue tonight was I really just needed another teammate. Those Maverick guys, once they got in position, They knew how to block the runs, and they knew that there's almost zero passing on the bottom. So it was 1 versus 3, and those guys got it done. And it's not to take away from their speed, because I think any one of us in the top 5, 6 there could have won the race. But they played a game of chess with their teamwork there, and it just worked. I got kind of on the back foot a few laps ago because Mason and me and Dustin were racing, and Mason slightly chopped my nose, and we kind of all got separated there. So that was kind of tough, but I was able to drive Mason back down and try something. But with just 10 laps to go, it's tough. So those guys did a wonderful job. I'm proud of Brendan. He got voted most improved driver, and you can see it here. He is, and me and him have definitely had some scuffles. A lot of people with Maverick had some scuffles, but all in all, they're quick guys, and they're improving, and they're fast. And tonight they showed their smarts with the teamwork there. So, but I couldn't be more proud. I mean, a top 3 is something that a lot of people would wish for, and I'm just thankful that I was in that position and had a good race tonight. Was able to stick it out and get a top 3, and also have a great battle with Steven there at the end. That was a lot of fun, man.
I know we've got one more week to kind of celebrate this season and celebrate the championship that it looks like has been clinched for Mason Houseman. But for you, looking back on this season, your first full-time season here with the series, and first time really going after it with a team effort like this, how do you wrap this up?
Man, it's Homestead, and like Gordon fashion, I know that he was always the one that, even if he wasn't in the championship run, he'd find a way to win the last race. So I know it's going to be tough between Mason and Brendan, because I know there's still a points battle going on for sure, but I'd like to go out on a win, especially at Homestead. I love Homestead. It's a lot of fun. Lately I've hadn't had time to practice as much as I'd like to. I only get maybe Monday practices, and I might get a couple of minutes on Thursday or Friday, about 10 to 15. So not getting as much practice, but again, I've been on here since 2011, so I'm pretty familiar and can learn pretty quickly. So gonna try to get some practice, maybe find some more time to practice this week. But I like to go out on top, especially with my teammates. Dakota had bad luck tonight, and Eric, he had bad luck as well. So I like to see all of our team, get up front at Homestead and compete with these guys. And I know we can do it, and they showed tonight that teams are very important, and I think that Maverick has really, they've got a team this season that has really got that in their mindset, that with a team and they're all good drivers, it's hard to beat. So I like to see my team up and up. Next season there's going to be some changes. I'm really excited for those. We're introducing a driver that I raced with for many years, and I haven't got to race with him in a while, but his name's Kyle Heath, and he's actually joining our team and taking Dakota's spot. Dakota, he is going to be an alliance team with us, but he's starting a separate team as well, because he's got some buddies that want to race with us. So I'm actually more excited for the start of next season, because Kyle, we call him the Eagle for a reason. He's a heck of a driver. So I'm ready to get out here and let's play some chess with a game of chess on the track with them next season.
There you go, Isaiah Sutherland with a solid third place this season, a really good run. I know it's coming up empty-handed, didn't quite get the win, but a solid run for sure. Best of luck at Miami next week.
Tim Ford, real quick, I gotta give a couple of shout-outs if you don't mind there, Andrew. Always gotta thank the good Lord Savior above, Jesus Christ. He's been such a help in my life, and he's opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I just love all you guys. It's just a love and compassion thing, man. So I pray over this league. I pray over everybody that Jesus would reveal himself to you, and he give you that hug that he gave me. I gotta thank my mom and dad that always tune in and watch. I know I've got some family. Actually, my parents went to Gatlinburg to visit with my uncle and some other family, and I think they're all watching it in the mountains. So big shout out to you guys. Love you all. My Uncle Gary tunes in. Man, I'm just so thankful. I've got a family that supports me, even in this bizarre subcategory of I don't have a real race car, so we race on a computer. But, it's real to me. So I'm so thankful that they support that and get to watch all of us and all the fans. Shout out to all the fans that tune in and watch. And you guys in the booth, you guys are professional. And, even if we're watching our race afterwards or for watching another race that you guys stream. It's a lot of fun. It's like watching it on TV. So big shout out to you guys.
We appreciate the love for sure. Congratulations once again, and hopefully we're talking to you at Miami next week to cap off the season.
10-4, we'll see you then. Also, totally forgot, I got to thank my beautiful wife, Dalen. We'll see you guys next week.
Big thank you to her for sure. And that's Isaiah Sutherland, 43 laps led tonight. Couldn't quite get it done. Ends up a couple of spots shy, about 1.1 seconds back, Zach. But a solid run for sure here at Rockingham for that 24 car. And that's always where he wants to be, is out front. And solid start to the day. Started on pole. All that good stuff. Just couldn't quite get it done.
Well, I think a podium finish is still a great way to end it off. And, you know, it's great to see some feel-good wins here for the Maverick Motorsport bunch, and I am really excited to see how we're going to cap off the season next week at Homestead. I think these guys have put on phenomenal racing throughout the season, and Homestead is such a great track to end it off at. It's got a lot of fan uproar in the last couple of years, you know, with how good the racing is starting to get there with the aging surface, and like you said earlier, the aging on the tires and how much it tears them away at that racetrack. It's highline dominant in a lot of cases, so it's kind of similar to how we were seeing the racing tonight here at Rockingham. And I think tonight was a bit of a precursor and a little bit of a lead-in, I may say, for what racing could potentially be like next week at Miami.
I'll have to wait and see. For now, I want to give a big thank you to everybody for watching. A big thank you to the partners here with the BRB Racing League, the Buttkicker, Ascendance Trucks, Ideal Lease, and Sundance Pizza, all doing so much here for the BRB Racing League and the Buttkicker Cup Series, all allowing us to do these broadcasts on Tuesday nights and come back every Tuesday with another story to tell. A big thank you to Whiplash SlimCams, ATVOs, CC's Business, Cody Williams Design, Lucky Performance, and North American Racing League for supporting us here at Pit Stop TV and our efforts here with these broadcasts week in, week out. We also want to take a look at what's upcoming for us here at Pit Stop TV. Next up, 2 races at Miami. 1 in GT3 cars in the road course, 1 on the oval at night in these NASCAR Cup Series cars. Then we go to Le Mans with the GT3 field that is the North American Racing League. That's what's upcoming for us. The next 3 broadcasts here on Pit Stop TV, Zach, they're going to be a lot of fun, and there's a few places to find them.
Hey, you can always find them at pitstoptv.com, facebook.com/pitstoptv, instagram.com/pit_stop_TV, twitch.tv/pit_stop_TV, youtube.com/pitstoptv1, and x.com/pitstoptv_. But the newest place as well, you can find it, is on TikTok. That'll be tiktok.com/pitstoptv1. So go ahead and check out the brand new social channel. Andrew has been hard at work to get these social channels up and running to share all the great stuff at Pit Stop TV. Race highlights are going up throughout the week, so if you missed the broadcast on any of our broadcast channels, you can always go and check out the highlights and the amazing finishes that we get to see here on Pit Stop TV. So if you can't see it live, come see it later on the social channels. Great places to follow along here at Pit Stop TV.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in this evening. It's been a pleasure for myself and Zach Murtis. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time.